Take a moment and truly listen. How often do you feel like you're constantly proving yourself, chasing validation, recognition, or love, as if they are scarce commodities you must earn? We live in a world where external affirmation has become the ultimate currency, and we are all, in a way, running on a hamster wheel, desperately trying to collect it. We spend more time polishing our online profiles than building our actual character. In our relentless pursuit of convenience and speed, we've traded genuine intimacy for mere efficiency. We've optimized ourselves in so many ways, right out of our own humanity. But what if I told you there's a deeper truth, a profound insight offered by one of the most brilliant minds in the history of psychology, Carl Jung, who once quietly observed, "The power of recognizing your own worth before demanding it." This isn't just a philosophical musing, it's a key, a path to liberation. And in this video, we're not just going to talk about it. We're going to dive deep, dissect it, and uncover how embracing this singular, profound truth can fundamentally transform your life from the inside out. Stay with me until the very end, because what we're about to explore might just be the most important conversation you have with yourself today. If this resonates, gently tap that like button and consider subscribing to join our journey of deeper understanding. To truly grasp Jung's wisdom, we must first define self-worth. What does it actually mean? Is it the number of likes on your latest post? The size of your paycheck? Your professional accolades? Or how many people approve of you? No. Self-worth at its core is none of these external metrics. It is an intrinsic, deep-seated feeling of deservingness and sufficiency, an unshakable inner knowing that you are whole, complete, and valuable, irrespective of external circumstances or the opinions of others. It is the quiet certainty that your very existence holds inherent value. But why then do so many of us struggle to realize this? Why do we find ourselves in a perpetual race to validate what should be an undeniable truth? Part of the answer lies in the psychological roots of our upbringing. From early childhood, we are bombarded with messages, both direct and subtle, about our adequacy. Phrases like, "You're not good enough," "Why haven't you fixed this yet?" or "Be quiet, don't be difficult," gradually seep into our consciousness. These messages, whether from parents, teachers, or peers, accumulate to form what psychologists call the inner critic, a voice in our heads. This voice, which sometimes feels like a trusted friend guiding our plans, quickly morphs into a harsh judge. It's not you, it's your history. It's a tapestry woven from your wounds, your fears, your parents' anxieties. It's a patchwork of every single time you were shamed, dismissed, or silenced. And it took all of that and began narrating your life through its distorted lens. So when you hesitate to speak up in a room full of people, that's not instinct, that's conditioning. When you abandon a goal before even trying, that's not realism. That's your inner critic rehearsing old traumas. This voice is quick. It points to the past like a courtroom lawyer. It pulls up every instance you failed, every time you were rejected, and whispers, "See, don't even try again." We think we're being cautious or wise, but often we're just being controlled. Controlled not by an external oppressor, but by a mental echo, a voice replaying our lives over and over, labeling it the truth. The danger is we don't challenge it because it sounds just like us. Beyond our personal history, modern society plays a significant role. Our culture is defined by speed, an abundance of choice, and a stark lack of depth. We've become what philosopher Byung-Chul calls the burnout society. Overwhelmed, overstimulated, drowning in information, yet starved for meaning. We work faster, scroll faster, love faster, and we break faster too. The terrifying part? We've convinced ourselves this is normal. In this frantic chase, we lose connection with our authentic selves. We no longer ask, "Who am I?" but rather, "How do I look?" This, at its core, is the crux of the problem. How can we demand something from the world that we haven't even recognized within ourselves? Jung's powerful statement doesn't say, "Demand your worth." It says, "Recognize your self-worth before demanding it." Why is this sequence so critically important? When you demand recognition, love, or respect from others without an internal understanding of your own inherent worth, you are operating from a place of profound weakness. This demanding becomes a form of begging, born from a desperate need to fill an inner void. This approach almost always leads to persistent frustration, because external validation, even when received, can never permanently fill an internal emptiness. It's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. No matter how much you add, it always drains away. Unhealthy relationships. You might inadvertently attract individuals who exploit your need for validation, drawing you into relationships based on dependency rather than genuine, healthy partnership. Loss of self. In a relentless effort to please others and gain their approval, you risk losing your authentic identity, failing to recognize your own genuine desires and needs. Think about how love has changed. It used to be a journey of learning someone's soul, of patient unfolding. Now it's often reduced to a swipe, a chat, an emoji. And when things get difficult, we're quicker to replace rather than repair. This applies to self-worth too. When we don't feel worthy, we replace relationships or switch jobs instead of repairing what's broken within. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. This profound truth highlights that external demands are often a distraction from inner work. Conversely, when you first recognize your self-worth, when you make peace with yourself and truly embrace your inherent value, you don't demand it, you radiate it. Your power then springs from within, not as a reaction to the outside world, but as an authentic wellspring of your being. This inner worth becomes a natural aura that draws respect and appreciation effortlessly, without manipulation or struggle. When you possess this deep internal recognition, you become liberated from external influence. Criticism or rejection from others loses its sting because your worth is no longer tethered to their opinions. You become capable of listening without your entire being being shaken. Clearer in your choices because you choose what genuinely aligns with your true values, not what pleases others or brings fleeting, false validation. Capable of building authentic relationships built on mutual respect and genuine connection, because you aren't searching for someone to complete you, but rather for someone to share the journey with you as an already whole person, free from comparison. We are spending more time polishing profiles than building character. But when you recognize your worth, you no longer need to constantly compare your performance to others or your life to their curated online personas. The difference is monumental between someone desperately begging for attention and another who effortlessly exudes self-assurance, drawing others in. Between someone searching for salvation in the eyes of others and someone who finds salvation within their own soul. We've become faster, more productive, yet emptier. We've optimized everything except our souls. And as you know, even love now has a skip button. This is the steep price we pay when we neglect our inner value and chase external validation. So, the most crucial question then becomes, how do we actually discover this inherent self-worth? How do we reconnect with our essence before the noise of the external world completely consumes us? The journey begins with what Carl Jung called individuation, a lifelong process of becoming a unified, integrated self. It's a path of deep self-discovery. Here are some practical steps to begin this profound journey. 1. The quiet rebellion, self-reflection, and silence. In a world that constantly demands your distraction, being deeply rooted is a true revolution. We must begin by turning down the noise. The soul doesn't scream, it whispers. And it has been whispering for a long time now. Slow down. Look again. This isn't it. But we've become so loud we can barely hear it. Practice daily silence. Dedicate just a few minutes each day to silence, whether through meditation, quiet contemplation, or simply sitting with your feelings. Read deeply. Engage in slow conversations. Take walks in nature. These moments allow your soul to speak to you. Embrace unplugged mornings. Begin your day without immediately reaching for your phone or screens. This simple act reclaims your mental space. 2. Challenging the inner critic. Remember that voice born from your history and wounds? That voice is not you. The next time your inner voice whispers, "You're a failure," or "No one like you can achieve this," pause. Question the source. Ask, whose voice is this, truly? What does it want me to believe? And do I still choose to believe it? It's in this pause, that tiny sacred space between thought and response, that your power truly begins. It's not a reaction. It's not a replay. It's a conscious force. Uncover its roots. Explore where this voice originated. Was it from childhood? An echo of a painful experience? When we realize this voice is merely a reverberation of the past, its control over us begins to dissipate. 3. Reconnecting with your true essence. Reclaim your values. Reconnect with your authentic values. What truly matters to you? What gives your life meaning? Not what society dictates, but what genuinely resonates within your soul. Seek authentic community. Reconnect with genuine community. Engage in slow conversations. Be with people who see you for who you are, not just your avatar or username. Embrace your ancestry and stories. Connect with your elders, your ancestors, your stories. These roots provide a sense of belonging and inherent worth that transcends the fleeting present. Oh, integrate your shadow. As Jung famously articulated, a crucial part of self-realization involves integrating your shadow. Those parts of yourself that you deem weak, unacceptable, or try to hide. When we acknowledge and embrace these darker, often suppressed aspects of ourselves, we become more whole, more integrated, and paradoxically, more valuable. True worth doesn't demand perfection. 4. Choosing presence over productivity. Choose presence over productivity. To be rooted is a revolution. Don't rush through beautiful moments. Don't escape difficult feelings. Allow yourself to feel sadness fully. Love slowly. These seemingly simple practices are what guide us back to our humanity. What we've discussed today isn't merely a piece of advice or a nostalgic longing for a bygone era. It is a profound call to resistance, a revolution in a world that desperately wants you distracted rather than deeply rooted. If we continue to ignore this inner imperative, we may gain efficiency, but lose our very essence. We might conquer the external world, but abandon our internal one. We will build faster cities, but cultivate emptier homes. We will invent smarter machines, but raise lonelier humans. We will achieve more, know more, consume more, but ultimately, we will feel nothing. This is the terrifying part about this new version of humanity. It's not just that it's different, but that it's increasingly irreversible. Because habits become identities, and algorithms become ideologies. And with enough time, the very idea of depth begins to feel alien, but it doesn't have to end this way. We still have a choice. A difficult choice, but a real one. To remember, to return, to rebuild. It begins with small rebellions, slow conversations, deep reading, real apologies, unplugged mornings, spiritual silence. Because before we can fix the world, we must first fix the way we exist within it. Remember, the soul doesn't scream, it whispers, and it's been whispering for a long time now. Turn down the noise. Look someone in the eye again. Hold a moment, and don't rush it. Feel your sadness fully. Love slowly. Choose presence over productivity. People have changed, yes, but they can change again. This time, not by force, but by choice. Not to become something new, but to remember who we were before the noise. If this resonated with something quiet inside you, please don't just scroll past it. Share it. Reflect on it.